Good morning, YouTube. This is Divine Feminine Lorraine coming at you with a quick message for those that might need this message. You know, coming a long way from spirituality, and dealing with things that have happened to me in my past. This message is for those that are struggling, those that are in relationships where they feel like they're bound to them and they can't get out of these relationships that they're stuck in. That they feel like there's no hope, and that somehow these people draw us closer to them when we're trying to run away from them. Trust me, that was one of the relationships I was in. It was a very domestic violence kind of relationship. It was a love and hate relationship. The love that I gave would always come back to me in the most negative way, but I didn't know that I was fighting this person and their demons. I didn't know this person was into like the cult at the time. To know that this person was doing spells on me and making me out to be the villain, making me out to be the evil one in the relationship all the time. No matter how much I tried studying and learning and trying to get closer to God, this person would try to fight me against it. I had spiritual warfare in my own home with my own, person at the time. The person I'm no longer with, I realized it was a toxic relationship. I realized I was being codependent on this person. I realized that this person didn't love me because this person did everything and anything to throw me out, to upset me. And then it was like 1 minute he loved me, 1 minute he hated me. 1 minute like 2 or 3 hours would go by and he would be loving on me. The next thing you know it, he fucking hated me. Be calling me every name in the book, accusing me of everything, checking my phones, busting the TV so I wouldn't be able to watch TV. I mean, when I talk about a destroyer, this person tried to destroy everything within me, but wasn't able to because of the fact that I didn't allow it to go that far. I mean, yes, I put up with a lot of abuse, physical abuse and mental and verbal, trust me. But I only allowed what I allowed, and I realized that I had to get out of the relationship, that this was a very unhealthy relationship, a very toxic. When you start to dream about hurting the person permanently, it was time for me to leave because I felt that I was either going to end up dead or end up in prison. Those were my only two options. And it was very hard for me to leave, but I turned myself in. I went to jail, and it was like the best thing for me. When I went to jail, I had time to really think about things and be away from this person and away from drugs and sobered up and realized that this was like the turning point in my life, and realized that once I came out of jail, I was either going to stay away from this person and stay sober, or my life was going to continue to go to hell, and I was going to end up probably, dying of drug overdose, or who knows what was going to happen to me, because the person was already trying to poison me and doing spell work, without me realizing that he was doing this. I didn't realize this person was the enemy at the time. I just thought we were just having domestic issues, after 5 years. I did not know that people say that I was considered the third party, when in reality I was his main. I should have been the only woman in his life at the time, but I guess apparently I wasn't. Rumors have it later on, after I left this person, that I was considered the third party, which I don't know how he had time for that if we were together at least 80 or so most of the time. So in that 10% or 20% that he was off doing things, to me that was the third party. But in reality, I would have never dealt with that. If I had known sooner that this was going on, I would have left this person a long time ago. And so I allowed this stuff to happen to myself. I allowed it to happen because you're all guilty to a certain extent of allowing people to abuse you. So I take accountability for that part, but I don't take accountability for his actions. Only he can. But the reason I bring this up is this is for like domestic violence situations, on people that stay in relationships that they shouldn't be into or be around, knowing that they're toxic, knowing that there's nothing good out of it. And it's not love. Trust me, it's not love. We think it's love. We think that this is some kind of, because we grew up in a very dysfunctional environment, thinking that that is love, by fighting and causing problems to one another and blaming each other. And when it starts to get physical, there's no respect in the relationship. You've lost respect. When you start cursing at each other, you've lost respect. Period. It's hardly rare when you can go back to being the way it should be from the very beginning. Once you lose respect for each other and trust in a relationship, it's basically over. And it only intensifies from there on. It only gets worse. And this is what I've come to realize over the past and over the years and being in relationships, that I realized that once you start talking negative towards each other and you don't communicate right, and you don't express, or you're not allowed to express yourself, then there is no need to continue the relationship. It's only going to get more toxic. It took me a long time to realize this. So this is a quick message. I've got to go to work. And I found this bag here at Barnes & Noble, and I thought it was, I don't know, I thought it fit the part. It says, fine, make me your villain. But we know in reality who the villains are. So I hope this message serves somebody well, and I hope they find peace, and I hope they find healing. I will pray for these people. I pray for the person that was abusive to find his own peace, his own way, back to doing something good, something productive for himself, something within God's eyes, something good. And I pray for him, and I pray for others. Okay? I'll let you guys go. Amen. And may you all have a wonderful day. Sending you all blessings and love.